Would you mind introducing people that you've introduced in English?
Sure, no problem. I trust that you know that we are presenting our preliminary candidacies or a list of candidates to be running in the coming Legislative Council election. So this is only a preliminary list, and all the members mentioned here are only actively thinking about whether to participate in the election. In Hong Kong Island, our preliminary recommended list will be Christopher Lau, myself, and also Jeff Ouyang Yin Kit, Dr. Jeff Ouyang Yin Kit here. And then Kowloon East will be Wong Yung Tat. He's not here today. And Kowloon West will be Legco member Mr. Raymond Wong Yuk Man. And also Dr. Yim Tat Ming. Here's here. And then New Territories East will be Ray Chen Chi Chun and Erica Yu Mi Ming. And the New Territories West, we will have two lists of candidates preliminarily. One would be Mr. Albert Chen Wai Yip, the legislator, leading a list, and then Jacqueline Chan So Ling, our Secretary General, and Raymond Lai, and also Carolyn Tong, which is not here today. And then the second list in New Territories West will be our district councillor, our sole district councillor, Mr. Mak Yip Sing here, and also our vice chairman. And the second bit is about our change in the committee members. That Mr. Edward Yam Leung Sien has resigned, being the executive committee of People Power due to personal reasons, mainly because he has quite a busy business engagement recently, so he believed that he cannot fulfill the duties of executive committee of People Power, so he resigned yesterday, and we thank him for all his contributions in the past, and we will replace a new executive committee in due course.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Talk a little bit about your strategy in the next election cycle for each of the districts.
Well, for each district, is too early to be disclosed. But generally, what will be is what People Power's strategy will be actually to emphasize that we are unique in the Pan Democrats, that we are an active opposition, and we will differentiate ourselves from the mainstream Pan Democrats. In particular, the Democratic Party, that we believe he has betrayed the voters, especially the voters who supported democracy in Hong Kong back in 2010 in the constitutional reform proposal. We will continue to stress about the differentiation between People Power and the Democratic Party. But we will continue, of course, to criticize heavily criticize the pro-establishment parties in this election, because we believe that actually their existence or their presence in the Legislative Council are not doing Hong Kong any favor. So we will continue our strategy to criticize them. So this is our general theme in the election, but the strategy in each different district, we will disclose it later on. Yeah. You'd like me to repeat a little bit about what I said before?
Sure, that would be lovely.
Yeah, so there are several questions about our strategy in terms of back in the district council election last year, we sort of heavily criticized Democratic Party, but in the coming election, our strategy will be a little bit different. We will again to differentiate the difference between People Power and the mainstream Democratic parties, and the level of the severeness of criticisms will probably be toned down towards the Democratic Party, but doesn't mean that we would not highlight that the key difference between People Power and the Democratic Party, especially in the constitutional reform proposal back in 2010.
What are you hoping will appeal to people most about your message right now?
We stress that we are an active opposition in the Parliament and also outside of the Legislative Council. We mobilize people to turn out to the streets to oppose the government, also to raise the Hong Kong people's awareness about key fundamental issues in Hong Kong. We also do not succumb to the fact that actually Democrats are a minority in the Legislative Council and try different measures to sort of block or resist any bills or legislations being passed in the Council, such as the filibustering. And that's the new thing that no other pan-democrats have ever done since the handover. And that's what people power stands for. We're an active opposition. We do not just accept the fact that we are a minority and we just vote against the government and that's it and just go back to work. We try our best to block any legislation that we believe that should not be passed. And that's what people power is different from the mainstream pan-democrats. And I hope voters in Hong Kong, especially for those who support democracy, can see the fact that actually the pan-democrats or the democratic movement in Hong Kong should find a new path starting from this election.
How willing are you going to be in this next election term to work with other, or in the next Legco session to work with other legislators, other Democrats, for instance, on legislation that is anti-establishment?
All right. Well, we're quite willing to work with other Democrats in the Legislative Council, such as the filibuster. Actually, the members from the Labour Party and also independent legislator Chen Ka-fu also joined the filibuster actions to oppose the passage of the replacement mechanism of legislative council election, and and also in all sorts of general economic issues, in all sorts of like the coming bill of the reform of the government structures. We are actually closely working with other Democrats to block any block the passage of legislation that we believe that should not be passed. So. Unless we can actually get more than half of the seats in the Legco, which cannot be done in the foreseeable future, we have to work with other legislators, especially the pan-democrats. But that doesn't mean that actually we do not differentiate ourselves from them, because we represent a slightly different path of democratic movement in Hong Kong.